Mr. Speaker, here we go again. H.R. 2 is yet another example of the majority's backward energy policy, which doubles down on dirty fossil fuels instead of investing in a clean energy future. I strongly oppose it. While fossil fuels will undoubtedly be a significant part of our energy mix for years to come, they are really only one piece of a very large energy puzzle. So rather than focusing on dead-end, short-sighted policies like these, we should be considering comprehensive energy legislation that looks at the big picture. We should be investing in cutting-edge research, high-tech innovation, and new clean energy technologies. We should be increasing energy efficiency, modernizing the electric grid. We should be promoting sustainable energy, and we should be taking action to reduce toxic greenhouse gas emissions, and finally, embrace the overwhelming science of climate change. Not only does H.R. 2 do nothing to address the serious environmental problems we face, it also creates new ones. H.R. 2 overrides the expressed will of voters in my congressional district and many other communities throughout the nation by recklessly expanding offshore oil drilling. We've seen time and time again the devastating environmental and economic threats posed by offshore oil drilling. And that's why voters in my congressional district and California have repeatedly rejected new offshore drilling. Yet this bill ignores these wishes and explicitly requires new oil drilling off the central coast of California and in other areas. I find it ironic that the same majority that decries an overreaching federal government seems to have no qualms about forcing new drilling upon local populations against their expressed wishes. I have submitted several amendments to the Rules Committee to address this in this legislation and other problems with this bill, but none of them were made in order. In fact, the majority has prohibited consideration of any and all amendments. No debate, no votes. And if these weren't enough reasons to oppose H.R. 2, the bill is also completely unnecessary because the House has already passed every single provision included in this bill. H.R. 2 is nothing more than 13 previously passed bills stapled together with a new bill number on the top. Even worse, this is the third time this Congress and the fifth time in 4 years that we're voting on the exact same offshore drilling expansion legislation. Stapling old bills together doesn't make this a new idea. One would think that after nearly 4 years in control of this House, the majority would have come up with some new ideas by now. But sadly, they just found a bigger staple machine, a political gimmick, and a waste of taxpayer time and money. This is no way to legislate. Mr. Speaker, the American people expect better from us. They expect us to find common ground and work together across party lines to solve our nation's problems. And there's certainly no shortage of problems we could be working on right now. Strengthening our economy, raising the minimum wage, passing comprehensive immigration reform, making college more affordable, rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure. The list does not even, and that list does not even include the multitude of energy challenges that this bill completely ignores. This is what the American people are calling for. They're calling on Congress to stop the political gimmicks. They're calling on us to help create middle-class jobs, to support working families. And they're calling on us to get to work and build a more prosperous and sustainable energy future for our nation. H.R. 2 accomplishes none of these things. This bill is simply harmful energy policy, an embarrassing waste of time. I urge my colleagues to reject this bill and join us in working toward a clean, more sustainable energy future for the American people. And I yield back the balance of my time.